St. Patrick's Rib. Hey, Boot, do you remember St. Patrick's Rib? How could I forget it, Jimmy, said Boot Farrell over the top of his pint. I was sure it was the real thing. So was half the country. Great while it lasted. Whoa, lad, said Willie Maguire. I must have missed that. Yes, Willie Maguire was in the pub, drinking tea, herbal tea at that. Had been warned off the booze years ago. So he filled his time with work, very successfully, and spent his leisure time in White's, where Maureen or Lisa or even Frank himself would brew up pots of this herbal stuff. Willie would drink it by the pint. I've forgotten about yon rib, he said. Could you fill me in on it, Boot? Jimmy here will tell you. Far better man to tell a story. Take it away, Jimmy. Jimmy MacDonald pulled himself together, took a good pull at his pint, and launched into the story. Well, Willie, it was a couple of years before all the statues started moving below in Cork, and then they were taking down the old porch at the side of the chapel before they put that yoke up that's there at the moment. Anyway, the bits of stone and clay and slates were left over in Kennedy's yard, like everything else, in a heap at the back of the sheds, and lay there for 6 months or a year or more. Came around to Paddy's Day, and anyway, Davy Kennedy's good pull was rooting around behind the sheds, and didn't he cut himself on an old mowing machine blade? Davy couldn't be called tidy, but the bull took to bleeding, spraying out of him, not a vet to be got the day that was in it. "Ah, me good bull, he'll die, said Davy. Who left that feckin' blade there? What'll we do?" Myself and Boot here were on the road, thinking of maybe coming down here for a pint. So, as you know, Boot is a great stockman. The bull was confined. Boot got a rope around the leg above the cut to put a squeeze on it. "Give me something to twist this rope with," he said. Trish Kennedy pulled a bone out of the heap of rubble and handed it to Boot. He put it through the rope and started to twist. The blood stopped, like a tap turning off. "It's a miracle," says Trish. "That must be a holy bone. What is it?" "It's a rib," said Boot, "probably belonging to an old sheep or something. But it's not the bone, it's the—" No, Trish calls. "It's out of the pile of stuff that came down from the chapel. It's St. Patrick's Church, it's St. Patrick's graveyard, St. Patrick's football team. It must be St. Patrick's rib." "No, the rope around the—" "Ah, shut up, Boot Farrell. To think that a dirty old rope could stop the bleeding like that. It's a miracle. Wait till I tell Father Shaw." And myself and Boot took a look at one another and got out of there fairly lively down here. God, it took the parish priest, the school teacher, another half-dozen experts to dislodge Trish's belief in that miraculous rib. I'd say that Davy was fit for a mental home. And another thing, if you went down to Kennedy's house this minute and had a look, that feckin' rib has a shelf of its own on the dresser and a candle beside it. That's 20 years on. I'd say some of these days it'll strike again.